So today is the 29th of June. I actually didn't make a video yesterday because I was not really all that excited about making yesterday's video, so I just went to bed. But I think I can go ahead and make my post today about it. I'm glad I had the experience of going to Royal Agriculture College. It was interesting to see where, I guess, kind of the divide in agriculture between, I guess you'd say, between different classes of people. So the agriculture that's presented there would be more for people who are, I guess, maybe going into politics or are not really going to be the world food providers. They're going to be the people working in business and industry or even outside of agriculture, but this type of college reflects the lifestyle that they're used to. It's going to be more hands-off. It's going to be more about the college experience, the country college experience, rather than actually getting in and getting your hands dirty. Comparing it to Hartpury offered a lot of hands-on courses that were designed for people. You could kind of come and go and select them a la carte and kind of design your own program. I mean, of course, there were approved pathways of classes that you were to take if you wanted certain degrees, but they said they had a lot of people who were either at the local school or they weren't planning on pursuing a degree, but they needed to get licensed for different things. And Hartpury was very accommodating on being able to make that happen. You know, teaching people how to use front-end loader tractors and getting their ATV license and as students actually physically working on the dairy farm, as opposed to Royal Agriculture College, which seemed more like, well, be here for 3 years and then we'll give you a college degree, and if you do something in agriculture, great, but you probably won't. So I was kind of surprised at my reaction to the two, because I think as a student myself, with the types of grades that I had, I would have been more a candidate for the Royal Agriculture College, and that definitely surprised me at my not negative, but my less than enthusiastic reaction to the school. Whereas I wonder if, as a graduating senior, if I would have had the same perspective that I have now, where I'm more drawn to the hands-on Hartpury that seems much more practical, applicable, and I understand the appeal of that particular institution. Something else that really interests me, and I didn't mention this in my post at all, but they really talk about dyslexia amongst their students. There were dyslexia posters everywhere, and one of the presenters that spoke to us actually focused on dyslexia and said that a large proportion of their students were dyslexic, and kind of making the connection between people who wanted to be in agriculture or who were from a rural background and having this affliction. And he was talking about all the disability supports and technology and equipment and accommodations that could be made with those people, or for those people, which I don't think that broad announcement would have been made in the United States. And I don't think the statement would have been made about, oh, you know, farmers are dyslexic, or, you know, it just seemed kind of different. Although I can understand from the proportion of students that I have in the classroom, a lot of them struggle with reading or don't find it interesting or engaging, or maybe the students who are in the RTI classes. So while I can sympathize and I see that there may be a need in that, you know, for that particular interest, it wouldn't have necessarily been presented the same way that it was at the Royal Agriculture College. So we spent the evening with the Scottish couple that is also staying at Manor Farm, and they're fantastic. They are probably in their late 40s, early 50s, and we talked about their careers, we talked about their history, traveling, we talked about cars and politics and about why the House of Parliament here is so large, and it seemed like it was a really good exchange between us asking questions of them and them asking questions of us, and kind of just trading ideas and facts and cultures between the two of us, and discussing how in the Cotswolds where we are right now may not be the best reflection of England as a whole, which I thought was very interesting, and Joe and I had kind of come to the same conclusion that we may not be getting the true English experience because we're staying in a more reserved, secluded, kind of holiday area. So, you know, that would be something that would be interesting if we were to come back again to visit some other areas as well. You know, Newcastle or Liverpool or Manchester, you know, those types of areas, and see how agriculture varies across the state. I mean, in the United States, it's so large and agriculture is so vastly different depending on where you go due to the large size. But I wonder how different agriculture is in this country, considering it's 2/3 the size of the state of Louisiana. Whereas in that amount of space in the United States, we wouldn't see that much diversification. I mean, anywhere you go in Illinois, you're going to see corn, beans, cows, and pigs. Maybe a few wine farms and some fruit here and there, but not a whole lot of diversification. You have to go outside the corn belt to get those different crops. And I wonder, it can't be the same story here, but I don't have time to explore that. So I'm actually getting ready to go outside today with Lucy and her husband. We're going to dehorn and castrate some of their livestock. So not exactly the type of thing that people would be excited about on a traditional vacation, but as you can tell, I'm excited. So I'll report back later on today's actual post about what we'll be doing.